Hello dear traveler, welcome to the engine. I'm a little bit struggling with recording the videos recently. I don't know why I made so many of them, and now I am having so many realizations recently about a lot of different topics and tools, and I think I'm almost overwhelmed with what I'm realizing, and how then I get excited about it, and I want to share it with you and also create like a time capsule for myself. But because it's so complex, sometimes it's really hard to find some like yeah, little bit simplified version of it, because it all is connected with each other. So I can just, and I'm a talker, I can talk forever. So today I would like to give you a simple version of what I realized about being safe and safety, and what a role it plays in relationship, or what a role it can play in enhancing any of your relationship, even relationship, and maybe mainly relationship with yourself. I had a lot of like very deep talks with my with Paul, with AI, and with my therapist recently, and I think all of this led to realizing that I can't do like much. It's not even work, but like I can't be very aware about my own feelings and about where am I and what I need without being feeling safe. If I feel, threatened, or if I feel like being pushed or exposed or manipulated, or any of these, I go into defense. You can like imagine it like with any animal. If animal is threatened, they are in like survival mode. They go into this, they go in fight or flight mode. And that's, it kind of, your vision just goes like zzz, and you are just purely focused on survival, on defending yourself. So in that, you can imagine it's very hard to be open to some new data, to be open to some new perspective, to be open to somebody else's opinions. So if you want to improve any relationship, it is quite a good tool to bring a safety into it and bring the conversation about if you and if the conversation and if your partner who you're talking to feels safe. Because as I just said, if any of you don't feel safe, you're not gonna get very far. You're gonna just It's gonna get into the ego game when each of you are trying to protect your own position, your own vision, your own stand, or your own ideology, and you won't be listening to what the other person is saying. You will be thinking about like what to say to make myself seen, to make myself visible, to make myself proven, because I feel threatened, because I don't feel seen, I don't feel validated, I don't feel loved. And this is kind of what I desire. I desire to connect, but it's not happening there. So what am I gonna say? So most of your mental capacity is focused on this, and you are just trapped in your own thoughts, not really listening to the other. Compare to if you can feel safe and you can feel secure, and the other person is not trying to invalidate you, they are not trying to corner you, they are not trying to make you feel like nothing. If you know that that's not their intention, you naturally relax, you naturally open up, you naturally become more responsive. And this is not just applicable for the relationship, it's for anything. If you want to learn some new skill, if you want to go to some new place, it's not going to be very enjoyable if you are in the feeling of being threatened, being scared, kind of enclosed. So bringing like this, your awareness to your safety, and then maybe extending it to your partner, calling it out like, is this conversation safe? Do we feel safe here, both of us? So that means, is it productive? or is this detrimental, and is this kind of like a cornering? I've been using this for now few days very intensely with Paul and with myself, trying to figure out how I feel, and if I found out that I don't feel safe, trying to find tools and words or actions which can make me feel safe, and try to use it, with me in my own head. And then the next step, try to word it and say, not explain it, like communicate it to Paul, and ask him for a help, and ask him if he can, change his language, or if he can change his actions, because this makes me feel more responsive or more safe. Of course, it is always optional. I'm not pressing him, you have to do that. That's not gonna make him feel safe. So it is just putting it in the space, and then developing the conversation from that. So this is kind of like additional tool to what I talked about the previous video about like relationships, where it was curiosity, vulnerability, and patience. They are kind of almost the things after the safety. If the conversation doesn't feel safe from the very beginning, you can be curious, you can be vulnerable, and you can be patient as much as you want, but the other person won't be responsive. They'll be in defense, and they won't be sharing with you. So it's kind of like I've described step number 2, 3, 4. Now I'm kind of giving you step number 1. But who knows, as I go through my journey, I'm realizing many things. This might change, I might change the approach, but for now, it is so much better than everything what I was doing before. So you might try it, you might not. I am just happy I've discovered it for myself, and I am creating this memo for myself if I would ever forget. So I leave you here. Thank you very much for listening and sharing your time with me, and you have a beautiful day wherever you are, whatever you do. I'll see you next one.